some sketchy stuff today. This is what it takes to swing a 1,200 pound 7.3 diesel and get it up over the fender wells of a truck this size. We've got all the wheels and tires off the truck, got it on the lift, lower it down to where it's almost touching the spindles, just enough to get the lift under it, give us the height. A while back, I made this extension arm for the hoist to give some extra lift height, some extra length, got it reinforced, and then we got it chained up as close as we can. Got two very heavy tires and wheels ratchet strapped to the back of the lift to keep it from flipping over. We upgraded the cylinder to an 8-ton ram a while back, and it is all you want to get that thing out. And it had to come over from the side because I realized, thankfully, before I got started, that by the time I got my lift up, before I got it over the front, it was going to hit that door opening, and there's no other place I've got to do this. So it's going to be a little tricky getting it back in. Probably have to have some help, but after that, no big deal. So they're always a little bit quirky, getting them back in on the mounts and getting them bolted to the transmission. So anyway, so that's where we're at today. Okay, engine's out, and we got to get started on this engine bay. We've got a little cleaning to do, and of course, if you followed any of the videos, even though they're dirty, all of the side panels have been powder coated, you know, all that stuff, just it'll clean up great. Same thing, core support, everything's been powder coated and cleaned. The firewall, we've got to do a layer of sound deadener, and then we're going to do a layer of like a heat shield, which will really help seal the firewall up and help with our engine noise and heat. And then, like I said, we've got some cleaning to do. I'm not going to worry about, you know, like detailing this thing or painting any of this, because it's not going to be seen. And, you know, give a diesel engine a year or two and it'll be damp with oil and fuel and whatever. I do have some cleaning underneath. I'm going to, you know, do a little bit more painting on the frame, like we've already painted this front section. Anywhere we've been working, I've been trying to paint as I go, nothing super fancy. But as far as right here where the engine cradle is at, I'm not real worried about that. I've cleaned just a little bit on this already, and a little bit more cleaning, and get the heavy grease off, and you'll never be able to see it. So I'm not going to kill myself on that. So anyway, so I'm going to get started dressing some of these welds on the firewall, and then starting with the heat shield. And this wire going across here is actually the probe for the EGT sensor for the exhaust gas temperature. I've just got it zip tied up. It will go down and connect to the manifold on the passenger side, and that's why it's hanging up there out of the way. Okay, we got a layer of sound deadener, heat mat, whatever you want to call it. We've put this stuff all inside and under the headliner and everywhere. Man, it really works well. It's got kind of a tar based backing to it, and we heated a little bit with a heat gun, and man, it gets so sticky and gooey, and then once you press it in, it's there to stay. But anyway, I ran out. That's all I had. Got a little bit over here need to do, but the good thing is this area over here I can do after the engine is in. No big deal. I mainly want to get all this area that I couldn't reach while the engine was out. And you can kind of see this recess up in here is all for turbo piping. And that was the whole purpose of that. So now I'm going to put a layer of metal. It's like a special metal high temp shield that you'd use around turbos and stuff. I'm going to put that across the firewall and try to be as neat as I can with it, so it'll really look good and kill even more sound and more heat. Okay, we got it swinging, getting ready to pull it off the run stand. And while I had a good shot here, I've got the turbo up pipe, which I'm real pleased with. It came from Classic Diesel Designs. Real pleased with it and how it's fitting so far. We'll see how it does when we got to put it in the truck. And we got our wiring harness repaired and all new sockets for the glow plugs, turbos on, oil feed, and got all this hose coiled up here. That's going to be a return line. I don't know exactly how far back it's got to go, so I'm just going to leave a piece in that. And actually, I used a 400 psi transmission cooler hose for that. It'll be good with the real compatible with the diesel. Shouldn't ever have any trouble with it. And we got the engine bay ready. This has been a lot of work, but we've got a layer of the Dynamat, and then this is actually a layer of it's a 1400 degree fiberglass mat with a metal shield on top of it. I was trying to think of the name of the company. It's a real popular heat shield company, but anyway, it comes in a roll. So we've got it formed. I actually kind of like the way it works. Got it formed back in that pocket where the engine's going to sit back, and then once I'm done, I'm going to come over the top of all of this side where I can get to it with another layer and do it real neatly, where it'll, kind of follow the curvature of the tunnel. And then of course we got to do something over here too, but this gets all the critical areas you can't get to once the engine is in, and it actually is tucked about 5 or 6 inches up in the tunnel on top of the transmission. And I took the mounts off and opened up the holes where the motor mounts go in, because I'm going to pull the motor forward about 1/4 of an inch. I think I can do that without any problem. I've got that much room in the transmission support, and that'll also make it easier to drop the engine in with holes that big. And then I'm going to make a plate to go behind that. This is going to be like a giant washer, so it'll take up the slack of that hole, no problem at all. And so anyway, we're ready to swing it and start seeing if we can fish it in here. Okay, we're slowly but surely getting this 7.3 bolted back in the International. Got to put starter on, transmission cover, got most of the engine bolted up, transmission. I wanted to show this transmission support that I built before I took it out. I did this in order to support the transmission while I was pulling the engine, and I wish I had built something like this years ago. This was so handy, because every time we've ever pulled an engine, it seemed like we have somebody with a jack and a board underneath the transmission, and you jack it up and monkey with it, and then you can't lift the vehicle up and down because the transmission is hanging on the jack. And so I made this piece here out of a piece of 2-inch tubing, and it just lifts up on the frame rails. It's got an adjustable piece here that comes out, and it just literally hangs on the lip of the frame rail. And then it's got 2 studs that go up to some aluminum pads, and they're just sitting on a flat spot on the transmission. And then you can just adjust them, take a ratchet and crank these up and down and raise the transmission up and down a little, or tilt it. And the transmission just sits right where it's at while you're taking the engine in and out, and be able to raise it up on the lift. And it made it easier putting it back in, because you could adjust the transmission a little bit to line up holes. And anyway, I wish I'd have figured it out 40 years ago, really. It's not like it's a universal piece that'll fit every vehicle, but the concept will work. I can make one, it doesn't take that long to make it. Can make one for the next one that I have to do, especially if you're working by yourself. So anyway, we're about ready to set the radiator in, and I'll let this down and get a shot of the engine bay. Okay, this is how far we've gotten. We did pull the motor forward about 1/2 inch, and it made a tremendous difference. Still kind of hard to see, but I've got tons of turbo clearance, both up and down pipes. Still got to finish up the firewall with the heat mat. It'll be easy to get to from here going forward. And we're just gradually going through. I got the accessories on and just doing a little bit of wiring and cleaning a few things up. Got this alternator right here. As you can see, I made a kind of a weird alternator mount. This is a 150 amp alternator off of a Caterpillar diesel. And it's actually a diesel alternator. It's got a tack output on it. So I had this here, it's brand new. And I thought, you know, if I can figure a way to mount this without modifying my actual bracket, I'm going to use it, because alternators are expensive, especially one that would put out this much. And so anyway, I got it figured out where it bolts on, and if I want to put a stock one back on it, all I've got to do is take a couple shims out from behind the alternator bracket. And you see I got the belt lined up, but take a couple shims out, bolt the stock one on, and I'm going to keep all the plugs where they'll plug up. I've just got to splice in one wire on this middle terminal right there, and that just comes from your charge light inside to excite the alternator, and everything else hooks right up. So anyway, I think that's going to be cool, assuming it works. But anyway, just wanted to update, and hopefully the next clip of this video possibly will be of it running again. Okay, so we've got everything buttoned up, I think. I'm sure there'll be some kind of little detail I've overlooked, but it's a full house. But like I say, we got good clearance with everything, and got the rest of the firewall pad done. This thing is really quiet in the cab compared to what you would expect for an IDI. And I've made a couple trips to town, and all the vitals are good, no leaks. Had one fuel leak at the fuel pump. I'll show you, we actually mounted the fuel pump. I don't know if I can see it or not. Yeah, you can see it right there, midway back on the frame. I went with a Carter fuel pump this time. So far I'm real happy with it. It's very quiet. Fuel pressure's good, and put it back that far because it's really easy to get to, and they actually do better pushing than pulling. Although I've had one on my other one mounted right down here for 4 years and had no trouble with it. It's a Holly Red, but so far I'm liking this one better, so we'll see how it does. But anyway, I'll get some video of this running, and then we'll finish up this one. Okay, we're going to finish out this video with a startup video, and I would say that, oh, this is a cold start, but it's like 95 degrees here today, so there's no such thing as a cold start. I will say though that when everything's correct on these IDIs, glow plugs in good shape, controller working, you know, no air in the system, which we've got electric fuel pump on ours, and that even helps with that. No fuel leaks. These things start just fabulous. They've gotten a bad reputation over the years because people just didn't maintain them. And if you let all that stuff get in poor maintenance and the engine half worn out, you gotta beg them to start sometimes. So anyway, let's see how this one will do on this so-called cold 95-degree day. And let's see, we got our wait to start light there. And that's how they are. They should start up just almost instantly. Anyway, also didn't mention in the last video, we got our hood back from the powder coaters. We had it redone, had some places in it, and it's still, you know, the whole truck's rough, but had a few holes in the hood and some heavy pitting, and so we DA'd all that back down. And our powder coat guy has shown us that you can DA powder coat down, and basically you're leaving the previous coat in the pits, and then they spray it again and bake it, and it actually levels things out a lot better. So anyway, very acceptable. We got that back, and I've got the truck buttoned up, and now we're just going to be driving it and working on the other 100 things on the list, like headliner and You know, tons of other stuff that if little things that have to be done, but truck is functional now, and we can actually put it to work. Anyway, thanks for watching.